Welcome back, YouTube. We are the Florida Gambling Boys. This is the Football Frenzy Show for a Week 10 of college football and Week 9 of the NFL. I can't believe we're halfway through the NFL season. College has like 4 weeks left.
4 to 5 weeks left, yeah.
This is crazy.
Conference championship games.
As always, I'm your host, the magnificent Sean Mayall. I'm joined by the man, Miss Midwest, Tom Tice. Tom, good afternoon, good evening.
Hello, how's everybody doing?
And to my right, Super Dave Kreitz. Dave, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. He does exist. Could be better, could be worse.
But you won in golf today. So that's a good
I
thing.
did all right.
You won.
All right.
For the love of God, you won. That means doing all right.
Damn right. Last we joined you, as we were not with you last week, unfortunately. I'll take the blame for that. We saw number 1 ranked Texas get knocked off by Georgia. And we have a new number 1 team in the Oregon Ducks.
Quack, quack.
Quack, quack is right. Are they really number 1? I don't know. But they have progressively gotten better every week. Dylan Gabriel has settled in that offense, looks very comfortable at the helm. So they're going to be a handful. Anything stick out to you over the last 2 weeks, Tom?
I thought on Thursday night, Pittsburgh, well, I think it's the most improved Division I football team in this country.
Yeah, them in Indiana.
Yeah, them in Indiana by far. Just putting the hurt on a good Syracuse team. I thought that was a great game on Thursday night. And Pittsburgh went out and flexed their muscle.
That game scared the ever-living hell out of me as a Pitt fan.
They got so much pressure on McCord, it wasn't even funny.
Yeah.
McCord didn't know which way to go.
I know.
So I thought Pittsburgh was the big surprise last week. I thought Notre Dame beating Navy the way they did.
Handily.
And here's the thing: in years past, we've had 2 and 6 or 2 and 5 Navy teams play Notre Dame to a 17-16 game.
Yeah, they even beat them in Notre Dame one year.
I was there, unfortunately. So when you have a 23rd ranked Navy team and Notre Dame beats them handily like that, I thought Notre Dame played well, and I think Notre Dame gets better every week.
Yep.
I really do. I thought the Ole Miss over Oklahoma, it proved to me that Oklahoma's not ready for the SEC. They're just not there.
Their offense is atrocious.
And, we all have to talk about the elephant in the room right now, which is the Indiana Hoosiers. The Indiana Hoosiers are good, guys. They beat a Washington team last week.
And winning handily.
Yeah, Cignetti rolled over that roster with 46 new players, a la Prime in Colorado. They've done some very similar things. Cignetti's just having much better results than Prime's having right now.
Well, you know what? Colorado's not playing bad football this year.
No. What are they, 6-2, 6-2 now?
Yeah. I mean, maybe the win over UCF doesn't look as good.
But I thought the Oregon win against Illinois, that was total domination.
Yeah.
And Illinois has been playing really, really well. So I don't think they're a flash in a pan. I really don't. I think it's a really good football team.
Well, we'll get to more about Oregon here shortly, as well as the Pitt Panthers. Dave, anything stand out to you, college or pro?
Other than the Lions being the buzzsaw that nobody wants to see, but we're also becoming the true target on the back.
Oh, for sure.
We're running offensive linemen as receivers.
They're the best team in the NFC, hands down, right now.
The one other game in college football that I thought was a shocker, not that they won, but the way Alabama beat Missouri was impressive.
Missouri's a fraud.
A fraud, but a 6-1 fraud going into last week.
Missouri's Oklahoma from 5 years ago.
Yes.
Missouri joined the SEC, didn't belong. Now they're proving to somewhat belong.
The other team we need to start talking about as far as playoffs and seeding, if they keep winning, now they got a tough road ahead, but I thought Texas A&M played a great game against LSU last week.
What a huge matchup that's going to be Thanksgiving night. Texas at Texas A&M.
Oh, that's going to be, I can't wait. I mean, I don't mean to wish my next 2 weeks away, but that's the premier game of Thanksgiving Day. Usually it's Detroit, and Detroit will be a premier game on the NFL side, but Thanksgiving night, that's going to be outstanding.
Yeah, that's Lions are what, 4:25 Sunday at the Packers?
4:25, yeah.
That should be a good game. I look for Detroit to win that.
I think it would have been a better game if Jordan Love was playing.
Jordan Love's not ruled out yet.
He's not ruled out, but he's
game time decision.
I don't think they're going to risk their franchise quarterback for 1 week. Could be wrong, but we'll see. Hey, let's jump into the games. I think, first of all, we got to start with the big one this week, and that's Ohio State at Penn State.
Big side.
We'll go to Mr. Ohio State.
No, we'll let David run this one first. He's the Michigan guy.
Well, as a Michigan guy, I got Will Howard at 74% for 1,795 passing yards, 17 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Drew Aller, 71.3%, 1,640 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. But Drew Aller might not play because of the knee injury that he took against Wisconsin. Ohio State's offensive line is a little banged up too. So I think Ohio State's going to lean on this run early. I see Ohio State has a 3.5-point favorite. The over/under is 45.5, according to ESPN, I believe.
That's right.
Here's the thing. I think that over/under is a joke, only because I look at Ohio State's defense and how pathetic they've been.
I think a lot of it has to do with does Aller play or not.
Does Aller play or not? Aller plays.
That number jumps to
Aller,
like 48,
Aller
49.
plays. I'll take
5.5.
I'll take Penn State to cover, given what I've seen Ohio State do against Nebraska and what I've seen them do against Oregon. Not that Penn State's going to beat them, but if Aller plays, he can keep it close. I don't want to touch this. I'm staying off it because it's a game time decision. Aller doesn't play, take the under in the first half.
I can see that.
Well, I think that's a great call. I never even thought about that. Because what's that under going to be in the first half?
23.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's a good call. That's a great call, Dave.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I like Penn State in this game. I'll take the 3 and a hook at home. But if Allard doesn't play, it's no action for me.
Well, here's the thing. It's no action for me either way because I don't bet Ohio State. But I'll be honest with you, this is a make-or-break game for Ryan Day. It's a make-or-break game for the persona of what Ohio State's tried to accomplish under Ryan Day.
Yeah.
So I really believe that this is a much bigger game for Ohio State than it is for Franklin and his Penn State Nittany Lions.
Oh, I think it's huge for Franklin. He needs a statement win.
He could lose today, tomorrow, or Saturday, win out, and still go to the playoffs.
I agree.
If Ohio State loses on Saturday,
they may not make it.
They may not get in. Because they have to go to
quality losses, Oregon.
And then you have to go play a feisty Indiana team, and then you got to play your rival Michigan. So this is a must game for Ohio State. Now, do I think they're going to win and cover? I will be honest with you, I don't know. As an Ohio State guy, I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole.
All right, so we all think that this could be quite an interesting game, and again, I'll take the points here. Moving to the next game, Oregon, number 1 Oregon, travels to the Big House in Michigan, 3:30 Saturday afternoon. Oregon currently sits as a 14.5-point favorite. Dave, you're the Michigan man.
I am the Michigan man. I will not be the Michigan man this week. Oregon has outscored its last 2 opponents 73-9. Michigan has yet to score more than 28 points in a game this season. We're 130th in passing. We're 110th in scoring on offense.
I can't call them the Michigan Blackjacks anymore. They scored 24 points last week.
I'm going to go against you on this.
Go ahead and go against me.
I think Michigan covers the 14.5. They're at home. I think it's a huge game for Michigan. Michigan, they beat the rival last week after 2 devastating losses back-to-back. They came back and played a really good game against a Michigan State team that is average.
Our rival, you mean we beat up on little brother?
You beat up your little brother, who is still a rival.
Yeah.
But I'm here to tell you, I think this Michigan defense steps up this week. There's enough film on Oregon. They're going to watch what Ohio State did and or didn't do. And I think Michigan covers. I don't think Michigan wins, but I think they cover that 14.5.
I disagree. I am actually betting this game, and I am taking Oregon because our lackluster ability to be able to throw the ball anywhere, I think Oregon comes out and just methodically works us over.
I think Michigan's defense
to pass is going to allow them to pin their ears back and play the run.
Yeah.
And just we're not going to have an answer. Oregon will dink and dunk around us, and they will put up 31 points.
Well, they can put up 31, but if Michigan scores 17, they cover the 14.5.
I don't know.
So I'm
Michigan
good with
can.
that. I think Michigan can.
Oregon's got a sneaky good defense.
It's good, but it's not great. If Michigan's offensive line gets rolling and they start moving bodies,
If the offensive line can eat,
yeah,
if we can eat,
the game's tight.
but Oregon showed me against Ohio State. Oregon's here to play, and I think this is a big
that Oregon
game for Oregon. That we're in the Big Ten and we're coming to the Big House.
I agree.
And we put the number on Michigan.
It's a huge game for Oregon
to solidify them in the Big Ten.
But we both noticed against Ohio State. We noticed against some other teams. As good as that Oregon front seven is, it's small. It's not a giant front seven on the defensive line. I think Michigan has a chance to get out, move bodies, and make space for these running backs. And if that happens early, if you start putting together 5, 6, 7-yard drives, even if you're only getting field goals, you're going to end up making that thing tight.
Yeah, I'm on Oregon here.
I hate betting against my boys.
Yeah.
But know that I have the money if I'm losing. If I'm losing like that, at least I know I got money coming back in the house. So I'm taking Oregon.
Okay.
And we'll see you in the Blue Bonnet Bowl or the Pool and Weed Eater Bowl.
And we might be lucky to go 6-6 if we lose this one.
Yeah, I'm on Oregon here. I think it's just too much talent. And they run, a different kind of offense.
They do. It's high speed.
That's all it is.
Chuck and Chuck, man.
So I'm all on the Ducks here. Next game to look at. Hard to believe one of the games of the week we're talking about is Pittsburgh on the road. Undefeated Pittsburgh at SMU. 7-1 SMU, a really good football team. 7-0 Pitt. Pitt's catching 7.5. A lot of points for an undefeated team to be getting on the road. Gun to my head, that line tells me something. And it tells me SMU is going to... They might take Pitt out to the woodshed. I mean, Pitt can score. Their offense is good. This is unlike any Narduzzi team we've seen in the 10 years there. Even with Kenny Pickett, who was throwing the ball over the field, they didn't let it air out like this. I mean, they're really a good offensive team.
I'll be honest with you. All week long I've been thinking Pitt's going to cover, but it's not a play for me. It's not a play for me at all. You put a gun to my head, I'm taking SMU, but something tells me that Pitt's going to show up, and that's all I can say.
And they very well might. And I can see this game being close at half into the third quarter, and I think SMU pulls away. SMU still has a shot to win the conference.
Oh, yeah.
So does Pitt.
Oh, Pitt does too, but Pitt has Virginia at home next week, and then 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's another story. We're just talking about this game.
Clemson. The Clemson lurks on the horizon. So that'll be interesting. Who do you got in this game, Dave?
I've got Pittsburgh offense averaging 41 points per game.
Yeah.
Hard to beat.
They're 6th nationally. I've got SMU's offense 39.1 points per game, 14th nationally. Pitt's offense, Eli Holston, has 1,808 yards, passer rating of 107, 17 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
He's been impressive for a redshirt freshman.
He's been great.
SMU likes to run the rock. 41 yards rushing attempts per game for 208 yards per game.
They average 5.3 yards per carry. That's tough to stop.
Scary.
That's tough to stop.
SMU's defense, 90 yards rushing per game allowed, 52.5% completion against them. That 52.5% completion against them is 11th in the nation. I'm taking Pittsburgh to cover against SMU. They're playing in a neutral site. They're playing in Dallas. We're gonna figure it out. I don't know if it's a neutral site.
It is.
It's a much easier neutral site for SMU.
Obviously.
But,
SMU's football field is right off I-35 by the George Bush Library. So you think Pitt covers, but SMU wins?
I'm just taking Pitt to cover.
Okay.
I'm not trying to tell you.
I got you.
Wins.
Yeah, I'm the same way with every
This
game.
might be who has the ball last.
Could be.
It might be one of those games, and we've seen Pitt play a couple of those.
And that's a 7 o'clock game that night?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, it's a national.
I think it's a shame it's relegated to the ACC network when you have two good young teams like this, but
yeah, it's a night game. I did know that. I wasn't sure if it was a 7 or 8 o'clock start.
Yeah, I think that's a shame. But be that as it may, let's move on to the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Although, no, we can't call it that anymore, can we?
No.
It's the world's largest outdoor tailgate.
Yes, it's the world's largest.
Everything's
tailgate.
got to be PC. Can't promote alcohol. Get out of here. I've been to this game before.
The Red River
It's a lot of fun. And Georgia, we know Georgia. Florida has looked better from their season opening ass whooping.
The last 3
from the
weeks, they've
Hurricanes.
gotten better and better and better.
Yeah, I agree, and they should have won against Tennessee.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
So, 16.5 is a lot of points.
That's a big number.
Especially on a neutral site.
Yes.
Yeah, this is one of the few games I agree with being at a neutral site. Obviously, Army-Navy.
Right.
Obviously, the Red River shootout with Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And I put this one. Now, will be interesting. 2026, they're going to play this game in Charlotte.
And then Atlanta.
Or Atlanta.
And then 2027 it's going to be here in Tampa. Yeah.
That might be one worth checking out
Yeah.
to have it in our backyard. But who do you got here, Tom?
You know, the 16.5 is a big number. I really like Florida to cover, but once again, it's not a play for me. This week is tough. This is a tough week.
Yeah, there aren't a lot of great games.
Once again, if you really forced me, do I want Florida to cover? Yeah, I guess I want Florida to cover. But I think Georgia wins this game.
Because you're an Ohio State fan, and you need Florida to.
Yeah, I give them the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, right. No, I think Florida covers.
Okay, Dave, who you got?
So my numbers on this: Georgia is 1-5 against the spread as a favorite, 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 SEC games that they've played.
If you're a trend player, those are
Those are
definitely
numbers to look at.
To look at on your.
It's ugly. Florida's offense is averaging 413 yards and 30.9 yards per game.
In the last, 4 games? That's what Florida's. Is that the season or the last 4? Because I know the last 4 they've even been better than that.
Yeah. No, this is the season. Defense giving up 70 and 23.6. Georgia's offense is averaging 428 yards per game, 33.3 points per game. Defense giving up 309 and 16.9. So there I have a cushion. Florida's doing better, but they've got that freshman coming in. I think Georgia wants to make a statement on a national stage.
I do.
Especially after getting beat by Alabama a few weeks ago.
Right.
Yep.
Georgia is going to cover this game at 16.5. I will take Georgia, given the points, just Florida's too reliant on the explosive play. Georgia's just too fast to take it away from them.
Correct. Georgia's defense is really good.
Look, I'm a Gator fan,
Really good defense.
and I think the key is Florida has to come out and score early.
For sure.
You do not settle for field goals against this Georgia team. You have to come out and score early, make a bit of a statement, like, all right, we're here to play 60 minutes, guys.
But I think Georgia wants to come out and run the rock early,
Yep.
try to control, and a quick takeaway that puts them up.
Yeah, establish the run early, put together a 6-7 minute drive, go down, score, make it 7-0.
Plus, they got the former Gator on their team, the running back, Etienne.
Yeah.
He's starting now for the
Yep.
Dogs, so
He's been doing very well.
he was suspended early in the year, but he's back now for them. So I would lean to take the points in a rivalry game like this.
I would too, but I'm going the other way.
It's okay.
I think Georgia wants to enjoy a cocktail.
There you go. Last
Gotcha.
game,
Gator cocktail.
last game that we're going to talk about is Louisville at Clemson. Clemson currently sits as a 10.5 point favorite. I think that line will go up by Saturday kickoff. Thoughts on the game, Tom?
Clemson all day long.
Yep.
This is easy.
I think it's just that easy.
This is an easy pick. This is one of my take it picks.
I'm with you.
Clemson is playing much better than they played the last 2 seasons. their defense is much better than it's been the last 2 years. The last 3 weeks, that defense, I don't know if you got the stats there or not, their defense is playing really well. And
Klubnik is coming around as a quarterback.
Not over the last 2 weeks, but I got the stats on the season.
yeah, I think what's killed Clemson the last 2 years is giving up big plays and just not having that front seven that they used to have. And I don't know if they had the front seven that they used to have before, but I think this is a better team than they've had the last 2 years.
Some of those front sevens were dominant.
I'm talking the last 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
Tiny little guys, tiny front sevens. Nobody getting drafted out of that group. This group is a little bit different, a little bit more physical, and a little bit younger too. So, and I think Dabo's kind of putting together a team that, we don't talk about the future, but Clemson's going to be really good next year when you look at this football team.
Yeah, Dave, who you got here?
I think Dabo is kind of putting us against the world mentality to it.
For sure.
Because he hates the transfer portal.
Yes.
So he's got his guys.
He doesn't use it.
He won't use it.
He refuses to use it.
So he's got his guys bought in. Oh, well, these guys bounce around. I brought you in to do this.
I'm developing you to win for Clemson, is what he's telling me.
He took an early loss, and everybody, myself included, was about to put nails in Dabo's coffin. He's got to move him forward.
They're sitting at 6-1.
Clemson's quarterback, Klubnik, he's running 66.7%, 1,836 yards, 20 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. They're averaging 199 yards, rushing yards per game. Their defense giving up 348.6 yards per game and 23 points per game. Louisville's coming in. They're flying high.
Oh, they are.
They are flying high.
They can score.
Tyler Shows, 64.3, 23.48 yards, 20 tutties, 5 interceptions, 157.3 yards per game. But Clemson has won 41 of 42 against the spread versus non-ranked opponents.
Yes, and that's a great number.
Louisville has lost 24 of 29 versus ranked opponents against the spread. I'm going to call 11 points nice and easy in Death Valley. Dabo's running down the hill, and he's walking his boys back up it.
Yep,
Take your money and go.
I like this a lot.
I think we're all on the same side here with Clemson. I definitely have them. I think they cover that number rather handily. I think they probably win by 17 to 20. It's funny, you're talking about NIL and Dabo. I don't know if you saw the news today that Ohio State got the commit for the number one quarterback in the 2026 class.
Sixth class, yeah.
And there was talk he was looking at Clemson. I think it's probably one of the biggest reasons he didn't go to Clemson. Well, because he's not going to get paid.
Well, they said early reports out of Ohio State is that his 4-year number, if he stays, will be over $8 million.
Who needs to go play pro ball? When you get the money these kids are getting.
That's a lot of money. That's $2 million a year.
Any other games that stick out to you on the college slate this weekend? It's
not
in
the top
slate.
20. Not in the top 20. No.
I got one. It's my super dog.
So let me hear it.
Talk super dogs. When you want to talk them, we'll talk them. Otherwise,
I am curious.
No, I want to hear it.
We'll talk with super dogs later, and I am curious about the Texas-South Carolina game. I think South Carolina's live here.
They played a lot better. Every game they've lost, they've been in. They played good football. Texas is going to go win that football game.
I don't doubt that they win the game, but
what's the line on that game, Sean? I don't even know.
I don't remember off the top of my head. Brandon, one of our researchers back there. Hey, Brandon, can you look up what the point spread is for Saturday's Texas-South Carolina game?
What is it?
Texas-South Carolina on Saturday. Brandon's our crack researcher here. We come fully equipped with producers, researchers. We got everything. So we'll get to our dogs here in a little bit. Before we transition to the NFL, want to give a big shout out to Seabreeze Lounge for allowing us to broadcast our show every Wednesday. We're live, and you can catch us on YouTube. You can,
Is that Oklahoma, Texas?
No, Texas at South Carolina.
Texas, South Carolina. I'm sorry, I'm a little hard of hearing.
That's okay. So we go live every week. I think next week we'll be live on TikTok as well, as our TikTok page is blowing up a little bit. Not too late to get on the bandwagon here, folks. So, anyways,
A&M favored by 2.5.
nope, Texas, not A&M.
You got to tell one of the producers something more specific.
So let's move over into the NFL.
Yeah, let's move on to the NFL.
A better week at matchups, I think, this week than last week. Definitely some interesting games.
It's easier money this week, put it to you that way.
I don't know if there's such a thing in the NFL.
This week, I think there's two for me that stick out, but, you know.
Yeah, we were discussing that. Trade deadline is Tuesday.
Tuesday at 5 o'clock.
On election day. I'm surprised they're doing that, but that's okay. I'm curious about a few games this week. I think the Cowboys-Falcons is interesting. I'm now putting the Browns as far as much-watched TV. They've moved way up on my list because Jameis is fun.
He is fun. The guys like him. You still have an average offensive line, and you really don't have much of a running game. So it kind of is what it is with the Browns. If you have a defense that still gives up a lot of big plays.
But they were electric last week.
They had fun. Well, they played that game for Jimmy Donovan.
Yeah.
We all know that. They played that game for Jimmy Donovan. Jimmy Donovan's the one that knocked the ball out of Hamilton's hand at the end to win that game.
Yep.
That's just, you know, and that was great for the fans to see. Great for his family that was there. It was wonderful.
I think the Chargers play good enough defense. They'll give the Browns some fits.
Chargers will win that game.
I don't know. I'm going to ride the Jameis momentum there.
It's only been 1 week. I don't know how much momentum's there. The thing about Jameis, he could come out and have one of those 4 or 5 interception games, throw for 350.
Oh, God knows.
We all know that. We've seen it here in Tampa. Jameis is kind of like Baker. They're both very similar players. They put up big numbers. They cave on big plays. They throw interceptions. You know.
I feel bad for Baker losing Evans and Godwin. I'm really surprised his front offense hadn't gone out and made a move for a wide receiver.
Well, no one's going to give him one.
You don't have the cap space for him, give him what you have.
I was going to say, they don't have that cap space.
Yeah.
No one's going to give it to him.
Who did I see? Deontay Johnson got traded last night, this morning?
Last night or this morning,
Yeah.
he went to somebody.
But even if the Bucs were interested, he's got a cap hit of like $18 million.
Yeah, they can't absorb that. There's no way.
No.
So, Dave, who are your teams this week?
Dave,
I got
what
2.
interests you in the NFL this week?
The NFL? Well,
We know your Lions.
I ain't touching that with a 10-foot pole. We're going to Lambeau.
Yeah, we don't know Jordan Love's status right now.
I don't care about Jordan Love's status. I just know we have put the biggest target we can put on our back after what we did to Dallas. Sorry, Tennessee. You kept to the game early. But the fact that we scored 42 before Goff had 30 yards passing
85 yards passing in the game, and they win by like 37
is what it is.
against the fighting Mason Rudolphs.
Going to Lambeau in a divisional game, I'm out. I'm staying away.
Yeah, Detroit wins that.
I'm not saying my expectations this, that, or the other thing. NFL, I'll take Atlanta
I
at home.
love Atlanta.
I'll take Atlanta at home against Dallas, who I think has been a fraud since.
That line's under, I think it's what, 2.5?
2.5. Falcons are favorite.
Yeah.
I'll take Atlanta, laying points. I'll take the Rams going to Seattle. Puka's back, Cooper's back. Kyrian might be able to run, and Matt Stafford is just one of my favorite dogs of all time.
Tough
Yeah.
place to play.
Plays the game.
Always liked him. Always
Seattle's
liked him.
tough place to play, but Stafford, he's got his weapons back.
What's his face? The receiver's out too. Why am I drawing a blank brain fart here? Where's jersey number 12? Metcalf, DK Metcalf.
14. Yeah.
Or 14. Is it 14?
He wears 14.
Okay. Anyways, Metcalf's out.
And my final one, which is, it's a goddamn layup after the Hail Mary that he pulled off last week.
Wow.
Rookie of the year. Hail Mary, come with me. Jaden Daniels going to the Giants. Laying 4 points. Jaden Daniels will make that up by himself.
I love Washington in this game. It's so funny you said that because I got Washingtons and Falcons are my two just lay down easy picks, man. That's so easy money this week.
Just don't know if there's such a thing in the NFL when it looks that easy.
All right.
I know.
Then I'll take one away from you. You can take either one you want. I'll take the Colts. Give me Joe Flacco.
Well, that was going to be. I wanted to ask you guys
Yeah, I'm
what
not
you
gonna-
thought.
Flacco is going to make magic happen.
With those
What's your-
weapons, I'm
what's
not
your-
going to argue with you.
What's your opinion on Anthony Richardson getting the hook?
Well, here's the
Too
thing.
soon? I think he's looked
no.
awful.
I think it's a combination of a lot of things. First of all, he came in the camp out of shape.
Yep.
That was talked about.
And he gets hurt.
Second of all, he's throwing the ball at a 44.7% completion percentage, which is just god awful. And third, he literally gave the timeout signal to get him out because he was tired.
Oh, you poor baby.
You're a 23-year-old man, should be in the top physical shape of your life, and you're telling the coaching staff who's
He
invested.
said it in the press conference after the game. You lie. Tell something stupid.
They invested.
Cramps.
You tell me you shit your
Anything.
pants. I don't care.
Yeah, but
You don't
all the
say
money
I'm
they've
tired.
invested in him.
Metcalf pulled that. That's why he had to take the cart versus
Yeah.
Detroit a couple
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, but
the
I
bathroom was
remember
too
that.
far away.
I
all the
remember that.
money they invested in that kid, and for him to say, "I got to come out, I'm tired."
The throw that he made.
I'll make a prediction. He never starts he'll only start again if Flacco gets hurt, and then they might even go to the third string. They're going to do whatever they can to dump him in the offseason. That's a bad look.
I can't say what I want to say because I think I got family watching, but I'm going to go with it hangs like the sleeve of wizard. He is a whispering eye.
Yes.
I hear
It
you.
is, yeah.
All right. Well, I don't think he's that good a quarterback.
Never
I
thought
don't-
he was that good a quarterback. I
He's
thought
a
he was like
phenomenal
40.
athlete, but
He's a great athlete.
He's not smart either.
He's a great athlete.
I don't think he can read defenses. He played little to no college football at Florida.
Trade him for Taysom Hill.
What did he play, 7 years or 7 games?
If that, I don't even know if he played that much.
Yeah. A bad choice made up. And to prove it, to literally sit there and say, "I'm tired." There's
That
To say
disgusted
it
me.
after the
That
game
disgusted me.
to the press.
was even worse. I was
All I
tired.
have to say is you got a mic to the coach. You're tired, coach. I'm gassed. Hand the ball off.
Then you shouldn't even go back into the game then.
No, hand the ball. Coach, I'm
Dave,
gassed.
you're right.
Let me hand the ball off.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
All right,
First
Tom,
of all, you've been gassed to begin with.
Take a timeout.
How in the hell are you gassed at 22 and supposed to be a premier athlete? I've never seen this happen.
No.
All my years of watching pro football, I've never seen
not
a guy
admit
hit
it
the
like
helmet
that.
and go, "That's the I'm tired."
I think we'll see more of it sooner than later.
I think you might be right, which is unfortunate. Who do I like? Like I said all night, I like Washington over the Giants. I like the Falcons over Dallas. I think that's just easy money.
what's that number at right now, Washington?
Washington's a 3.5 point favorite.
Yeah, 3.5 points.
At New York.
Yeah, that's. I just think Washington goes in there and really flexes muscle this week.
I think
They're
so.
pumped. They're pumped after last week. It's a young football team. You got a really good young quarterback that A, can read a defense, B, loves playing football.
the year.
Yes. But
I
you know what's
heard
funny
him
about
play.
Jaden Daniels? He loves playing football. Watch him. That's the difference between him and the guy from the Colts. The guy from the Colts, I don't know if he loves playing football or not. The guy from Jaden Daniels, he'll lay it all on the line every play.
Jay Daniels is that rock, though. He's over 70% completion percentage.
He's got an
To
electric
Scary
arm.
Terry, to whatever Washington.
But here's the thing, though.
I
When
mean,
you're
he
a
throws
rookie,
the ball on a frozen rope, but he's got a very catchable football.
but here's the thing. When you go in the league and you're a rookie and you're throwing at 77%, it's because probably you're the first guy there and the last guy to leave. It's probably because you're watching about 6 hours of film a day,
Yeah.
along with working out, and along with holding your offensive coordinator's hand for 4 hours a day going, "What do you see here, coach? Tell me what I need to do different." That's the difference between a Jaden Daniels and some of these other kids that come in the league. He wants to win. He wants to be a difference maker, and that's why Washington is a totally different football team. Washington did not have a bad roster last year. This was not a horrible team last
No,
year.
I think they need some depth at wide receiver, but who doesn't right now? With
the
way
whole
they're
league
going down
needs
like
wide
flies?
receivers.
I'm
Yeah.
not here to pound the table, but somebody had Washington sneaking in at number 7.
You most certainly
I
did.
think you did, my friend.
I remember that. You said they'd be the 7th seed. Hell, they might end up being the 3rd seed the way it's going.
They might win that damn division.
Unfortunately, I took Philly to take the first, I think. And they,
Dave, you were dead on with that.
Well, they got 2 head-to-heads coming up with them.
Great choice, great choice. And
yeah,
there's plenty of time left. Injuries can happen, a lot of things can happen. But what I like about Washington, and I always go back to this, their front seven's really good, and they have a healthy offensive line.
And you got Mike Smith coming
And they
in as
dumped-
a players coach.
They dumped Chase Young, who was like their all-everything defensive lineman,
Yeah,
because they said he can't stay healthy. No,
he couldn't stay healthy.
Off to New Orleans, he did, you know?
Yeah.
So only 2 games for you in the pros this week?
Yep.
Okay. I'm on the Redskins as well. I'm on the Falcons as well. No Steelers this week. A well-deserved bye week at 6-2, winning the division. And I'm torn, honestly, on my third play. I lean very heavily to the Chiefs Monday night. But I'm going to take the Eagles. I'll lay the 7.5 to what I think is a very underachieving Jacksonville team. And I think the Eagles get well after a really solid win on the road last week against Cincinnati, what I thought was a
Yeah, that was a good win.
37-17. Maybe
That was a
they're
good
coming
win.
around. So those are our picks for the NFL, guys. Let's go to college football. Dave, you want to start us off?
With
All I got
the
left
sleeper.
all I got left is my super dog. I got some Blue Devils going to Miami. Laying 20.5.
Manny Diaz returns home.
Manny Diaz comes home. Duke's 5-2-1 against the number without a non-cover as an underdog in 4 of those games. Duke's been on it. Blue Devils leading by Manny Diaz. They're 2nd in the nation tackles for loss, 5th in explosive pass defense per PFF. Miami's defense is last in explosive pass rush and 90th in explosive pass rate.
Well, we know Cam Ward can bring it whenever he wants.
Cam Ward is going to bring it, but they screwed up. They had 6 turnovers. Screwed up last week against SMU.
I thought
If they get 3 of those turnovers and they got 21 points, Duke's coming to keep this game. I'll take him as my dog of the week.
Okay. How about your regular picks?
Regular picks. NFL, I already went.
Yep. How about college?
College, Oregon, covering against Michigan by 14.5.
All right.
Georgia, in a neutral site as a home team this year, covering against Florida, and Pittsburgh, covering against SMU. Not Pittsburgh's going to win, but that's going to be a slugfest.
Yeah, I like. The more I think about it, I kind of like Oregon to cover. I like Pitt to cover, but I like Florida to cover also. And then my sleeper of the week, Illinois is a 1.5 point dog at home. I like them to beat Minnesota.
Okay. That Minnesota team can't throw the football.
No, they're very elementary.
Is
in their
PJ
offense.
Fleck on the hot seat?
He's 5-3. He loses this week. He's 5-4. He wins 2 of his next. He ends up 7-5. Goes and plays the Pumpkin Bowl, and they're happy. That's what Minnesota is. They're happy with that.
Career-wise, he's not on the hot seat. He never has been.
No.
He's been the greatest thing Minnesota's seen in the past 10 years, anyways.
Past 30 when you think about it.
So yeah.
Not a
So where's he
storied
going?
football program.
He doesn't go anywhere, and they don't let him go anywhere.
Well,
They don't want him to leave.
somebody offers him something.
Correct. But I think he likes it
Florida
there.
State.
I think he likes it there.
Florida State's what went and sit.
Well,
He's not a Florida State guy.
All right, so we got Tom's picks. I'm on Clemson this week. I'll lay the 10.5. I'm on Army this week against Air Force. I just think they're a much better offensive team, and I think they cover that number. and I'm gonna take Penn State with the caveat Drew Aller plays. If Aller plays, I'm on Penn State, and I'll grab the 3.5. If he doesn't play, it is a no play for me whatsoever. So
Right.
check the pre-games for injury reports. 11 o'clock, they'll start to trickle out who's playing. I'm sure he'll come out to the field, warm up, try to give it a go, and we'll see. As far as my underdog of the week, I'd love to take Pittsburgh, but I just don't see it happening this week. I'm interested in South Carolina
Covering against Texas.
getting points at home against Texas.
Yeah, they're going to cover.
Yeah, and I don't know where one of our researchers went, but
Texas A&M favorite 2.5.
no. Texas had South Carolina. I like South Carolina. So those are my picks. Brandon, did you find a point spread there?
Thing is, it's loud out here, so I can't hear what you're saying.
Did you find a Texas point spread?
Way off it.
That's all right.
I can't.
That's okay. It's all right. So those are my picks. Guys, any other thoughts on the show this season?
No, but I will tell you one thing. It's kind of crazy, but if Ohio State loses 2 more games, Ryan Day will be the coach of Florida State next year.
The big rumor is
Is that where you're going to go with?
the big rumor is it's going to be Urban Meyer.
He ain't coming back.
He ain't got the heart for it.
What I hear somebody say
He
now.
can't handle it, man.
Now
Herb can't handle it.
Now you have to spell Mike Norvell. You got to spell his last name with 7 L's.
Yeah, don't be surprised. Ohio State loses 2 more. He'd be a perfect fit at Florida State.
But I don't know if Norvell gets fired. He's owed $10 million next year.
Well, he's owed more than that if you look at it.
For the overall length, yes. But I'm saying next year.
With that booster, you can make 23 phone calls and get that taken care of. They're not going to stand for a 1-10 season, which is where they're headed.
What's he been there? 3 years now, and Florida State's had 2 of their worst seasons in history.
Yep.
I don't know. It's a screwy world out there in the NCAA, but
Yep.
that's all I got. Dave, any last minute thoughts?
All I can say professionally for the Detroit Lions, I heard it today. If you hear the roar, it's already too late.
They had good football.